A lot of you guys have been adding new members, which is so exciting. You guys have been dialing into your nutrition, dialing into the challenge groups, and let's really keep that momentum going. Eventually, it becomes more of a habit than something that's like hanging over your head. And that's kind of one of the things that I noticed even when I was in New York. When I would have downtime, it was more of a something that was a habit and not something that was like really a job. So just kind of keep it going, because I know everybody. Where did I know everybody usually? Where'd Randy just go? Oh, there she is. I know everybody always comes out of the new year like really hard. Like everybody comes out of the gate really hard, and then people burn themselves out. So make sure that you definitely find a happy medium. So we're going to go ahead and jump on. Katie, you were killing me earlier. I was laughing hysterically with the Reese's Pieces. I was like laughing hysterically because I wasn't even thinking about Reese's Pieces until you made that post. And then I was like obsessed with them for an hour. So that was hilarious, Katie.
They're mean to me. The torture.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, now you have it in my head. All right. Well, I made a little PowerPoint, so I'm gonna go ahead and share that screen. It's just easier for me to stay organized. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is Laura Wiggers. Congratulations, you are Coach of the Week. So I really noticed a lot of changes with Laura. I know that you're probably going to listen to the recording of this, but definitely she was one of those girls that always came along and was like, well, I've tried and nobody really wants to, and everybody keeps telling me no, and having that mindset. And I think that she's been reading a lot of, personal development and kind of doing things and getting out of her comfort zone that I've noticed lately. So congratulations to Laura for being Coach of the Week. Those of you guys that don't know this, she is a teacher and also a busy mom. So she definitely is staying consistent with her workouts. She actually sent one invite yesterday, which for a lot of people, you might be like, one, what the heck? Like maybe you're sending 10, 20, 30, maybe you're sending a few, or maybe you're not sending any. But, taking that first step to send an invite, even if you do one a day, is definitely a huge accomplishment. And the girl's actually interested. She spent time with her, and hopefully we'll be signing up soon. So it's not always the quantity, it's definitely the quality of invites also. So one of the things that I'm going to kind of skip over recognition. You guys know who got Success Club. You guys know who didn't. You guys know who's on the recognition board. So, I would like to give one shout out to Megan Gutenberg. She has already changed 2 lives this month. So congratulations, Megan. She is pushing for Diamond by March, which is totally doable, so congratulations to Megan. She is a full-time school teacher, gets up every morning and runs in the Arctic of the Great Northeast. I don't know if you guys have been noticing that, but every morning at 5 o'clock when I'm shutting off my alarm, talking myself into getting up, her little story pops up on my phone with her taking her Energize and just going for it. So one of the things that we are going to talk about for a little bit, and tonight's purpose of tonight's meeting that we're having is we're going to talk a little bit about belief in yourself. We're going to talk about a little bit about strategy, and we're going to talk about a couple of things that are coming ahead in the new year. So the first thing I wanted to ask you guys is, do you believe in yourself? Do you actually believe in yourself? If you don't believe in yourself today, it's a good day to try. I mean, you could try to, raise your hand if you, I didn't write that. I was writing this while my son was jumping on me. So, but what I'm saying is today is a good day to start believing in yourself. Okay. Everybody on this call, I don't care who you are, we all struggle with self-doubt. So raise your hand right now if you're struggling with self-doubt. Like you doubt yourself. I mean, you guys probably, we see the highlight reels of everybody, and we see the everybody that is rocking their fitness journey. But I have a very hard time believing in myself. Sometimes I go through these phases like, God, I went to school to be a teacher, and then I got my master's, and now I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? And then I'm like, yeah, like I'm doing it. And then other times I'm like, oh, I wonder what, my neighbor's going to think about that post, or should I follow up with that girl again? Or am I really going to be able to reach the goals for our team and for myself this year? I mean, all of that stuff plays through in all of our minds. And when I was making this PowerPoint, it was funny because Tony Robbins jumped up, and I wanted to play this for you guys really quick. It's not very long. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to share it with you guys. And if the audio, sometimes I know the audio is weird on here, I'll just post it tomorrow for some personal development in the group. But let's see if it works. It's really short. It's only 5 minutes. You hear it? Everyone can hear that okay?
Marie, it's nothing but static.
Are we supposed to be hearing something, Marie?
Seriously? You guys can't hear that whole time?
Can anybody else
No.
hear it? Maybe I'm the only one.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing but static.
I thought you heard Katie.
No.
We got nothing.
Okay.
All I heard was like
Sorry,
clicking.
we were waiting on you.
No, I was just like taking notes over here. Oh my gosh, that was the worst. Well, anyway, it's really awesome. And basically what it was talking about is it was talking about your daily routines and your daily rituals. So basically, the whole point of it is if you have consistency in your life, like if you get up and you're working out, if you are scheduling, and I'm sorry you guys couldn't hear that because that was crazy. Like there's a point for it. But if you guys get up and you work out, like you're gonna see that like in your body. Like if you're fueling your body, what happens in private shows in public. So if you're, doing those things, even in your marriage, like even in your life, I feel like, all of those things are important. So it's not really just business related. And I feel like a lot of coaches, the one mistake that they make is you don't want to build this life of freedom so that you can be alone. So as you are coming up with your Beachbody schedule for business, as you are building your workouts and your schedule and everything that you are doing, make sure that you are planning time for your family. Make sure you are including them, because I don't just look at this business like it's my business. This is our business. This is a family business. Getting them included in it. You're not eating one thing for dinner unless you're doing the refresh, and your family is eating something completely different. You know, try to get them involved, and it takes time, because otherwise it can be super frustrating, because I feel like it can be like, this is like something you're doing over here. And then eventually, what I've also noticed with a lot of coaches, and I kind of made this mistake in the beginning, but I learned pretty fast, is you don't want the people around you to resent you for, while you're building your dreams and you're building your goals and you're doing all these things, you want to make sure that you include them, because you don't want them to kind of resent you, because then what's going to happen is, and I've heard this numerous times over and over and over again, my spouse doesn't support me. They don't understand what I'm doing. If you're not including them in what you're doing and talking to them about what you're doing, and you're only complaining because, oh God, my Shakeology is going to be billed again, and or something like that, or you're not explaining to them what you're doing, all they're going to see every month is on the 25th that your Shakeology was billed for $105, and that's all that they're going to see. So it's really, I feel like, have you guys ever gone through that before with a spouse or like a significant other? You know, if you're not really getting them involved, I know you guys, some of you guys have. So make sure that you're really getting them involved in that process. All right, so I'm going to post the rest of that video I'm going to post the rest of that video for tomorrow's PD. I don't know why it doesn't work when you guys are all on here, because it works when I do a team call or a training. So that's just kind of weird. All right, so all right. The next thing is we're going to talk about news and updates. February Team Cup is coming up. You need to start, you need to sign up starting January 15th. So this is going to come about on January 15th. So every time this rolls around, you guys get an email and you're like, man, why did you sign me up for this? What is it? Like, what's going on? Like, I can't do that. I'm going to let my team down. I'm not good at this. I'm not going to do it. And then you go like hide under a rock, and then you like freak yourself out, and then you like just kind of go away. And then some of you are like, I'm going to kill it. And some of you guys are kind of in the middle, kind of like myself, where you're like, man, I hope I can at least just win the hat, because that's kind of was exciting for me this month. So start developing your teams. You can have one diamond on a team, and you know, as many, I don't know how many are on this Team Cup. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5. I don't know. I just know the Team Cup is coming. And you can have a diamond, and you can have some emeralds. Now, it's important to do this with people that are on our team and in our downline. Now, you could do it just for, you know, maybe you just want to do it with your best friend, and they're part of Team Boom. You know, that's great and all, like they may be part of Team Boom, but if you're going to be strategizing and really working hard at this, maybe you want to be with somebody that is in your downline. You know, Katie, you know, Marie is on the left side of my business. It would make sense for Katie to team up with, for example, start asking each other where you're placed in the downline. Like it might make sense for Katie to team up with Dedra, because Dedra is over here. And if Dedra kills it in the Team Cup with Katie and sells a bunch of challenge packs, you know, well, she's actually, Dedra, you're coming down this way. That would help Katie cycle more, and that would help Dedra cycle more. So figure out who is in your downline. Katie's on the same side as Carrie Steelman, and all the coaches that Carrie is signing up actually are going under Katie Gendron on that side. So kind of team up with people that are even part of Boom Empire Fitness, or some of you that were adopted into this group. You can definitely still be on our team, because there was about 4 or 5 of you that have been adopted into Boom Empire Fitness. So don't feel like you're excluded. I would just say, for example, like it wouldn't make sense for me and you know, Andrea Wallace to team up together, because I mean, it, you know, it's not going to really help. Well, it wouldn't make sense for me and Chris Bachlet, Pat's cousin, who is on Team Boom, because he's not in my downline and he's on the opposite side of the business. So that's just something to keep in mind. So get your teams together, team captains and team leaders. And really all you have to do as a team leader or a captain is, just say like, hey, maybe it's 8 o'clock at night and you're like, hey, let's just do 5 invites right now. Let's do 1, let's do 2. Maybe something small, or strategize. Maybe you guys want to, the 3rd week in January, you want to run a sugar detox group. I'm running one of those on my own the 3rd week of this month. And then all of those people that go through that sugar detox, which is a free group, I'm hoping that they come on with a challenge pack over the next following couple of weeks, which would help for the team cup. Also, a suggestion, if you are running free groups or post about a free group on your wall. The other day I posted about people, is anyone interested in joining my free group, 7 days for a week? Tag a friend, I put, and get an extra week. So that was a kind of a cool idea. And then, the 7 people I'm friends with, they tag the 7 or 8 people that wanted to join, they tagged one of their friends that I wasn't even friends with. See what I'm saying? So that kind of doubled the market on that. So if you tell people to tag a friend or something like that, you can really increase your market on that. Summit tickets. If you don't have your Coach Summit ticket, and I saw Lori, congratulations, Lori. I saw today in the one of the message threads that you are going to Summit. Yay. If you guys have not met Lori, she is one of my most favorite people. Super fun, super down to earth. We had a really great time last year. So if you have not got your Summit ticket, in January, they are on sale. If you're sitting there right now and you're like, how in the world am I even going to get to Summit? It's so expensive. What am I going to do? Those of you guys that don't know me, 4 years ago, I went to Summit with my sister. I had $25 going to Vegas, maybe $50. I slept on her floor. I ate the dollar menu. I drank my Shakeology. I borrowed my friend's clothes, and I showed up like I was going to be top coach. My husband was starting out in his career. We had tons of debt. I was super depressed. I was comparing myself to others. I had like 300 Facebook friends. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to have these limiting beliefs anymore, because clearly at 35 years old, they have not got me anywhere. And I just went for it. Now, I don't get a kickback from this. I don't make money off of it if you guys go. Like, I'm not, trying to convince you to go or whatever. But I do know that anybody that is in Beachbody coaching, you definitely want to be there. It is awesome. It is fun, which brings me to my next thing. We had talked about before doing a team retreat with just our downline. I've put a lot of thought into this, and I know that Annie does it for her diamonds. Like, once you're diamond, all the diamonds go on a trip together. Once you do this and that, we all go on, you become a star diamond. And by the way, Michelle, I do have a star diamond gift for you. I have not mailed yet. You know how I am about mailing things, and I'm going to send you something special tomorrow. Nothing too fancy, but something special for you, so keep an eye out. But what I wanted to tell you is we do have some incentives that are going on for Coach Summit. Now, if you do not have your Summit ticket, and you get to, if you are a PS, one of my PS coaches, or in my downline, and you PS coach or in my downline, and if you do really good and get to diamond and you're one of the adopted people, I'm sure, I'll give you something special, probably not a Summit ticket, but if you get to diamond by April, we're going to get your Summit ticket for you. Now, if you're sitting there right now and you're like, man, I already have my Summit ticket, or like Lori, you probably bought yours this morning, I don't know what you did, and say you get to diamond, so say you get to diamond or whatever, then we would say you already have your Summit ticket, we would figure out something else for you, but that would be an incentive. Also, so that would be by April. Did we say April or March, Michelle?
We had said, in our messages, we said March.
Oh, we said March. So by the end of March? Because I think it's by the end of March. So like by the end of March. Now, that is totally doable for that. Anyone that already has their summit ticket and you get to Diamond, we can talk about maybe like one of your hotel rooms or something like that. But I feel like it's super awesome to have an incentive. Also, the 2000, because I don't really feel like we're quite there yet where I can say like, hey, I'm going to pay for our whole team to go to, the Caribbean, which would be totally awesome if everybody was diamonds. Like I would totally do that. But I feel like we have a couple diamonds and some strong emeralds. But once we get to that level, the next thing that Michelle and I were talking about doing is in 2019 is the trip that just came up. So for 2020, everybody that's on this call, you guys better be, diamonds by then, for the love of God, right? But you guys, like when I registered for the cruise today, I could have bought more rooms and filled them with up to 6 guests. So I could have bought more rooms, given you guys the cruise, and all you would have had to have done is got there. So we're going to start doing, as our team grows, going to start doing more incentives for our team. But I think that we kind of need to start with, let's get to Diamond. You get your free summit ticket. If you already have your free summit ticket, we will come up with something else for you. You also need to make sure that you opt in for the cruise. You need to go to the Beachbody 411 page and opt in for the cruise. What that means is there is a link. I don't have the link on here. You could just put in Google even opt in for the 2019 cruise, and you just have to fill out a form. Even if you decide not to go, that's fine, but you don't, like once you fill out the form doesn't mean that you have to pay for it. That form just means that you will get an invite if you qualify for it throughout the year. If you did not fill out the form, you will not get invited for it. Randy can tell you, for example, Randy a couple of days ago went in her email and got an email to come to the Riviera Maya with us out of flipping nowhere, which was amazing. So Randy, who is awesome on our team, was like, shoot, well, I'm going to take Heather Swindell with me. Perks for Heather, right? So now Heather gets to come on the cruise with us also. So you never know when your name is going to get called. Michelle Katz got called last year for the Riviera Maya, and then a month later they were like, hello, do you want to go to wherever we went? I get confused. We go to all the different places. We went to Punta Cana. Like it was like out of nowhere within 1 month she had like all these trips, and she took a coach in her downline. So these things are going to be coming up constantly. So make sure you opt in for that tonight before you go to bed. That is very important. Social media training, our Coach Basics and all of those things are very outdated. I am aware of that. They are super outdated, and I feel like things on social media have changed, just like, they say every 7 years, the woman, our bodies change and we age, or, things in fashion. It's like weird. It's like every, all of a sudden things change. And posting on our Facebook wall and just kind of like, hey, let me know if you want to do something, blah, blah, blah. Those days are still there, but everybody is really moving over to Instagram and using Facebook stories and Instagram stories, which can seem very overwhelming for a lot of us when we think about all of those things. Has anyone ever been overwhelmed when you keep hearing me say Facebook stories or Instagram stories? Raise your hand if you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna even incorporate that into my life? I'm already so busy. And what Andrea Wallace and I are doing is we are developing a social media training. I really would like you guys to do it. Put your blinders on, even if you don't listen to anything else, that we say over the next, couple of weeks. Dive into that training, and it starts on, when does it start? I don't know. It's in our coach group, so just write it in your notes to definitely go in that social media training. I want to show you, for an example, really quick, one of my Instagram stories and how I would use this to build a business. One of the things that used to confuse me years ago is I used to follow this coach named Kelly Hayner. And I used to think to myself, and I remember Katie Gendron and we had this conversation, and we were like, how is she building a multi-six-figure business and if Kelly, if you listen to this, I'm just sending you love at the same time as my mind is blown. And I'm like, how is she building a multi six-figure business when I never see her work out? Or I never see like her like doing blah, blah, blah. And there is a lot of things that are called curiosity marketing. So when you're doing things in your life, and when I'm in the car with my kids, and when I'm cooking healthy food, or I'm out with my girlfriends and things like that, by the time I get to, hey girl, I've got this really cool challenge, you want more details? By the time I get to that, they already are like, wow, like, Steve's super fun. He works all day. Like he's, going to this, he's going to Charlotte. He's doing all this fun stuff. I kind of come home after work and just lay on the couch and go to bed after I watch the news. Or other people, who know Steve might start relating with him. And then when he invites them, they would eventually want to join him. So that is the secret piece that I think a lot of us are missing. So my Instagram story today is, I don't know if you've already seen it, but
Hey guys, so I'm driving.
Hold on a second. I never realized how I'm always like, hey guys, so until I listen to myself and then I'm like, okay, hold on. Because I'm going to show you how I actually, so I'm just, day 2, I'm just doing this little refresh.
Hey guys, so I'm driving in my car right now, taking my son to the doctor. I'm pretty sure he just broke his thumb. Just another day in the mom life.
So I hashtagged mom life, and then I did a survey. Do you like this drink? Yes or no? It's a carbonated drink.
Me too. Fiber sweep. Yummy. Guys, I'm so excited. I just got to register to go on the Harmony of the Seas, which is the biggest cruise ship in the world. We are going March 2019. I just won this trip. I'm so excited. We're bringing our kids this year. Oh my God, I love my job. So are you ready to join me yet? Seriously, say join us. Join us.
This is in Caroline, being a mom with boys. That's where I find a lot of my customers. It's so dumb. You're probably like, what is even going on? And then Ashley Feldenstein, who had 70 million points last month, she's doing the same thing. You guys are all eating the same stuff. Like you're showing transformation. You don't have to do it exactly like these people are. But what I'm telling you is that those little stories like that, then really simple. And I've showed you this before. I click at the bottom, and all these people, they are they're following me. They're watching my stories, and I tell you guys this all the time. This is exactly how I'm doing it. And then now some people screenshot, but if I screenshot, I'm never going to do it. So I write all of their names down, and then when I'm watching Ellen, I do this on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'll like all those people. I'll like 2 of their photos, comment on 1, and then say, hey girl, I see you watching me. I know this is super random, but I'm part of blah, blah, blah. Do you want to join me? Something really simple. And then I'm doing that to all of them. Now, I haven't been doing that right along because I was very crippled by the thought of adding in Facebook stories and Instagram stories and doing them consistently. But in the past, and I know it's not all about Success Club points, but I know that I really want to, build a lucrative business. And in the past 9 days, I've sold 7 challenge packs in 9 days. And I'm not doing anything different than I was doing before. But I'm still eating, working out, posting on my wall. But as I'm making my shake, I'm taking a little clip of it. I'm in the car with my kids. And I do about seven of those little clips a day. And then I upload them. And they're good for 24 hours. Okay? And that's all that I'm doing that's different than I was doing before. Because I don't know if you saw my numbers, guys, but in October and November, for me to get 6 Success Club points when normally I'm getting between 10 and 30, my numbers had gone way down. And I was like, God, what is going on? And it's because social media is kind of changing and people are watching those stories. And if I'm not showing up on those stories, they're less likely to see what's going on. So that's just something to consider, okay? All right. And then during that social media training, we're going to go over all of that stuff in detail. This other thing that I want to show you is, go ahead and write this down. It's bit.ly/win the week. And basically what this is BIT. Can you guys see my shared screen? Okay, so basically what that is, and my son took my hard copy before and ran away, and now I'm trying to show you, which is impossible. Hold on a second. And what that is, like, you guys have no idea, like, my life with my son. He's a really good baby, but he probably knew I needed that. And then I don't want to yell at him because he's so cute. Okay. He probably didn't know I needed it. He probably just saw it as paper. But, and basically, oh, of course my sharing is paused. My God, I'm so good at this. See, if I can do this, anyone can. For the love of God, right? Okay. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this win the week checklist? Okay. Now, this is what I use when I kind of figure out what I'm going to do for the week. So, and then I check off these little boxes. Okay. So 7 coach invites, meaning that I'm inviting people to the coaching opportunity. 6 coach workouts, 21 challenge group invites. So from the people that are seeing my Instagram stories, like, I write down all those people's names, but some of them might look like really like super creepers. Like, they might look like, you know, are you guys still on here?
Yes, we're here.
Okay, sorry. My screen looks different. You know, so I invite 21 people to my challenge groups. 7 Shakeologies, 15 minutes of PD. I recognize you guys for things that I see. You know, when I do that, I make sure that I do at least 7 of those. Coaching breadcrumb post, you know, things like that. 2 challenger sign up, 2 coach signups. So this just kind of, like, you know, keeps me on track. If you're looking to, you know, really build a business, you know, now I'm not saying, like, if you don't do these things, you're not going to be successful or whatever, but this is a good way to gauge it, especially with the PD. I could tell you right now, like, the coaches that read personal development and the coaches that don't. Like, I know just from conversations that we have, the coaches that do and the coaches that don't. Starting new conversations. It says 70 in a week. That could seem so overwhelming, but really it's actually pretty simple. For example, one of Landon's friends at school, his mom, like, I saw her on Facebook and I was like, hey girl, I was like, how's it going? I was like, Landon really missed Morgan at school today. She's like, yeah, I saw he hurt his wrist. I'm like, yeah, or his thumb. I was like, yeah, he's okay. He, you know, it was actually really bruised this morning and now it's fine. I had to take him to get an x-ray. And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, I'm part of this. I didn't invite her to the challenge group, but I'm part of this mom group where we go and do fun things around town that's completely unrelated to coaching. And I was like, would you care if I added you? And she's like, yeah, new conversation. Okay, that's a new conversation. I'm going to invite her next week, but I got to hold my horses, right? New conversation. Going through those things is super important. So you want to start those new conversations with people. Like, if I saw, for example, like Carrie, you know, Carrie Stillman with the braids on our team. Like, if I saw her online, I'd be like, wow, super awesome. You know, braids. Oh, I didn't know you were on here. Hey, super awesome braids. Like, I see you, you know, doing your Energize shots every day, something like that. That would be a new conversation. You gotta talk to people, as hairy, scary as that sounds, and really start those new conversations every day. Now, if I go to my follow-ups and I work, you know how we work from our Facebook and we go from the bottom up on messages, like in your inbox? If I did 5 follow-ups and the one girl out of those 5 told me she's gonna buy a challenge pack from me Friday, and I sat around Tuesday, I told 50 people she was going to buy a challenge pack for me. Wednesday, I already told my husband how I'm going to spend that challenge pack Monday or Thursday money. And then I go through it. All of a sudden, we get to Friday. Guess what? She's not going to buy that challenge pack from you. Maybe she might. But the reality is that a lot of times those things don't pan out. Now, where did I go wrong? Did I do a good job doing my workouts all week? Did I invite? Did I work out? Did I do all those things? Yeah, and I did my follow-ups. But what happened to those new conversations on Tuesday, those new conversations on Wednesday, those new conversations as I moved through the week? Okay, follow-ups aren't new conversations. And that was one of the things that I was also missing, in my business. So it's really important to invite, follow up, but start those new conversations. Also, don't be scared, guys, to when somebody's like, yeah, send me over the information. I used to really go wrong we've talked about this a million times. I'm going to put somebody on the spot. Lori, what happens if somebody says, oh, she's walking around, sorry. I don't want to get you off guard. Lori, what happens if I'm doing an invite with you and you say to me, or I just send you a bunch of information, like my sign-up link, because you want to do it and all about the program. Are you likely to order because you're going to see how much it is and you're just going to go away, right? You can't just like throw information at people. You can't just throw details at people. You've got to talk to them. You've got to connect with them. And before I shoot people over information, we talk for a while. Then I always remind them, and this has really, really helped. I always tell them that when you check it out, just keep in mind, anybody can buy this, you can buy this fitness program from anywhere. Anybody can join a gym. But what makes it different is you get me. And I'm going to be here to support you when you are not feeling motivated, when you are stressed out, when you are tired. That is what makes us and our team great, because I'm going to show up every day for you, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to push you, and that is what you have to sell yourself, because I can go and buy that from anywhere, and I can probably get it for a couple dollars cheaper. And I always tell people that you can go get it from Amazon, or you can go borrow your friend's DVDs. But if I'm going to be, I'm coaching you, then I'm not, well, what I'm saying is if I'm coaching you, that is what's going to be the difference between it collecting dust, like every other program you've tried, and the difference between you getting results, right? So make sure you're always talking about that and incorporating that into your conversations. Because otherwise, guys, you're just another mom, woman, man online selling something. All right, so let me go down here. So we went over that, winning the week. What would be, and you guys can unmute yourself if somebody had some input on this. What would be the one thing that you would want to improve in 2018? What would be the one thing? If you could improve in your coaching business or like personal, whatever, what would be your one thing? I would say for me, my one thing, like if I was going to pick one thing, it would be to really, really, really focus on a substantial physical transformation. I mean, I've lost weight, but and Michelle Katz and I were talking about this the other day. She was like, look at this chick, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I think Michelle's like, she's 40 something. And, she had this girl, you could tell she worked out, but she really, really put her heart into it. And I think for myself, I would really like a really awesome transformation, like a more physical one. That would be the one thing that I would want business-wise. And then for family, I want to, read to my son more. So from 7:45 till 8:30, I read him 7 books. And I sat there and I just read them and I read them and I read them, and he loved it. I mean, I always play with him throughout the day, but I really know he's coming up on school soon. So kindergarten, so I read to him for a while. So does anybody want to share their one thing You can unmute yourself if you'd like the one thing that you would really want to focus on in 2018, maybe for your business or whatever.
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to be 40, guys. And I want to be like super badass, fabulous in 40.
Awesome.
So, I just think it's great. I just think it's crazy because I know, I don't look 40, I don't feel 40, but I know, I might have a midlife crisis when I turn 40, so I want to at least look good while I'm having that crisis. I don't look 40, I don't feel 40,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, do I just kind of feel like this when I'm 60, but I'm in a 60-year-old's body? It was kind of weird because I feel like I did when I was, there's really no difference, how I really feel. But yeah, I can totally relate to that. Carrie, what about you? Steelman? What would be your one thing that you would really, really want to focus on this year?
Hey guys. It's very echoey.
Sorry about that.
Is it echoey for you guys too?
No. Let me mute myself.
Okay, we'll try again. So I guess for me, the one thing that I'm wanting to work on is I'm distracted because there's things now on the screen. Okay, thanks, buddy. Squirrel. One thing that I want to work on this year is my onboarding process. So having a really clear system for when I bring a coach onto my team, the experience that they go through. I want it to be the same experience for every person. Because honestly, in the past couple of years, it's just been pulling things out of my rear, and just saying oh, you're on step 1. Okay. Oh wait, you're on step 3. Oh, you're ready for step 14. Oh yeah. And you're on step 9. It's I'm just constantly doing this and juggling and when you do that, people fall through the cracks, and people deserve better. And so I want to do a really good job of bringing people onto our team with a strong start so that they feel confident and have all the tools that they need to be successful. And in order to do that, I needed to just kind of pick a system instead of trying to mesh all these different parts of all these different systems. I just need to do one. So I figured out what my system is and all the steps that are involved. I'm going to try that with the next 10 or so coaches that I sign up on the team, and then start making changes once I have a chance to practice that methodology. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Now, did you recreate a whole system, or did you kind of jump around to different ones and put what you wanted in order? Did you recreate the wheel, or what did you do to get to that place?
Well, I had already been kind of pulling the best of the best, but that's why I was having that issue, is because I hadn't chosen what parts I wanted to incorporate. So I decided just to go back to, I had done the Dash to Diamond training last year, and Wendy Jo Spencer had done a video explaining step by step exactly how she onboards new coaches. And I had been using a lot of that, but I never really took the time to write it out, make sure I have all the components that I need. And so that's what I have been doing over the past couple of days, is just making sure that I have all the steps and that it's something that not only I can use, but that I can easily pass on to my coaches for when they sign up a new coach.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, Carrie. We are going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, since we started at the beginning of this call too, about believing in yourself and really having those goals, and what's the one thing you're going to work on. Don't be embarrassed that you're a Beachbody coach, guys. You have an amazing, awesome opportunity to change lives, help people and add so much value to their lives that if you can just crumble that up in a mysterious ball right now and throw it as hard as you can, like seriously, like do it right now, like mash that piece of paper up into a ball. Randy, I am you. You're on the right side of my screen. Wrap it up and throw it away. Stop being worried about being a Beachbody coach and other people judging you, because you know what, guys? They are going to judge you. The wrong people are going to judge you. They are going to judge you. They are going to tear you down. And I really honestly believe the meanest group of people out there is like other moms. I don't know why. Like, I just feel like they are. And like, there's like, you know, people, and a lot of the people that I used to be friends with, you know, when I changed and I wanted to lead a healthy lifestyle, and when I wanted to grow and be around positive people, the first thing I did is I started working on myself. And then I had to find some new friends, because the people that were around me, they were judging me, pulling me down, holding me back from being my authentic self, holding me back from being the person that I know that I could be to help so many other people. And let me tell you guys, like, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. I always knew I wanted to help people. But I also knew that I wanted to help people learn to love themselves again and feel empowered and grow and change in so many different ways. And if anybody ever judges you for doing that, for wanting to help people and change other people's lives, or not even really change their life, but just what if, like, you know, there was a mom or somebody that, you know, lost 10 pounds and she felt better about herself? Or what if I never said yes to my sister and wasn't able to leave my teaching job, and, you know, my marriage was saved and my husband has lost weight, and I finally love myself, other than feeling anxiety ridden and full of like shit all the time, you know? What if she was embarrassed of what she did? Or what if she was scared to share her journey, you know? So you don't have to, you know, it's normal to have those fears, but it is okay to be a Beachbody coach, and it is okay to want to help people. If you feel uncomfortable for pushing sales, or you feel uncomfortable you should feel uncomfortable, because then that's what we're not doing, okay? So really, really give yourself that self-love and be proud of yourself and what you are doing. It is important for society, for this obesity epidemic. It is important for our children to see us eating healthy and working out as strong women and men in this world. And it's so powerful what we're doing. It's way more than what makes those people feel uncomfortable that judge us because they don't get it. Eventually, some of them will. And those that don't, they're not my people. So I didn't mean to get on a pedestal on that, but I was just thinking about that the other day when I was making notes for this meeting, because that can really, you know, that can really freeze up a coach. You know, it can really, really freeze you. And then, you know, it really can really slow you down. So don't be embarrassed what you do. I put, I was like, stand in that. I was like, mother of empower and shine. You know, how has your life changed? You know, and tell that story in your post. You know, and one of the things, you know, and I kind of thought about this the other day, and I was like, you know, sometimes I feel like coaching is a little stressful. You know, sometimes I feel like I do get a little stressed out about it. But then I thought about it this morning, and I was like, God, I don't want to get up and do this again. You know, but I was like, you know what? It's my burden, but it's also my sole duty in life. You know, it's my burden, but it's also like my like civic and sole duty in life to do this. Like it's as much as a burden, sometimes it might. Have you guys ever felt like it was like a burden? You're like, what? You know, like, what am I doing? But I also feel like it's kind of like my duty in some sort of way. The last thing that I wanted to show you on here is talking about your weekly goals, your monthly goals. And that kind of takes us back to where we were before with that win the week. I don't know if you saw that, Valerie, but we did a win the week template that you mark off, which is really, really good to use. Your daily task, your weekly task, your monthly task. Where do you want to be at the end of January? You know, it is January 9th, which, yeah, it's still kind of early in the month, but if you want to, you know, if you want to come out, like, is it pretty hard this month? Like, you know, where are you? Like, what are your weekly goals? Like, how many people do you want to talk to? It's okay to say you want to sign up 2 coaches a week, but how are you going to get there? How many invites is that going to take? How many posts is that going to take? Like, be realistic, but start where you are and then just really move forward. Now, I'm going to post this in the group later, but this is kind of like a to-do list that I used to use every day when I sat down and I went to work. What do I do when I go to work? Meaning going to work as a Beachbody coach. I work out, I drink my Shakeology, I go like Lori's post, I friend 5 people, and then I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. Like, that happens to a lot of coaches. You're like, what do you do? What do I do? And for the first 2 years in my business, this was my list, and I sat there and I marked it off. Personal development, workout, respond to my messages on Facebook, check the coach basics if I'm in there, post in the free group, you know, post in all my groups, check in the Boom family. That's where the emeralds go. I said happy birthday to everybody, not on their Facebook wall, but in their inbox. I PM'd them. Hey, Valerie, happy birthday. What's going on these days? Conversation starter. Mark those boxes off. 70 conversation starters a week. You got 10. You could just get 70 conversation starters a week just by happy birthdaying people in their inbox, right? And then personal development, I watch YouTube videos while I'm cleaning, showering, vacuuming, cleaning the house, cooking dinner, message everybody that likes my stuff. Now social media has evolved. Write down everybody that sees your stories, right? Those Facebook stories, those Instagram stories. And those were things that I do every single day. And I still, guys, have this list on my desk every day. Monday, I follow up from the bottom up. Listen to the National Wake Up Call. Check my orders in my business center. If you're an Emerald, you're getting all these customers. Valerie, for example, is an Emerald. Megan, you guys are getting Success Club. Beachbody is giving you free customers. We used to call them, text them, email them. They are not answering us. So now you make the My Challenge tracker. You load them in there. 80% of mine are accepting that My Challenge tracker. Beachbody Challenge Tracker app. They're posting their shakes in there. They're working out in there. You know what the My Challenge Tracker is, right? I can also message them in there. I have 5 people that are on Home Direct Shakeology that I'm in the process of, they're going to be coached by my husband, and I'm going to get him halfway to Diamond next Friday. I would have never had those conversations with those people because I've called them, emailed, and texted them, and they've never responded. But they do through the My Challenge tracker. Me sending them a message on Facebook is just creepy because they think I'm like some spammer. If you don't know what I'm talking about on that part, just disregard it if you're not an Emerald or at that yet. And make sure you're adding them to the challenge tracker. Okay. Tuesday, real quick, follow up with coaches. Wednesday, post about Shakeology, something meaningful. Post about Shakeology in the challenge groups, guys, when you did your workout. Something for your customers. You could say, oh, I just did Insanity today, and man, these goji berries are good in this shake. You know, something like that. And I think as a whole, we need to do better. And Valerie Nelson brought this up to me the other day about adding the value of Shakeology in our challenge groups more. We really need to do that. So as a whole, every once in a while, as you're putting your post in your challenge groups, just talk about like, oh, I just worked out and I had my awesome shake. Because if people aren't seeing that and having that print-rich environment where they see it, kind of like Doritos on TV, eventually you're going to want Doritos. They're going to think that they can get the results you get and I get just by doing our Beachbody on Demand. The shakes build up. Let's get rid of them, right? And then your Facebook stories. So real quick, and I know that was a lot of information, and I was trying to go fast on there, and that was still an hour. I'm trying to get them under an hour. That was a lot of information. So just to quickly recap, we have get on that list for the cruise. We have the Beachbody, we have the Team Cup coming up. We have a lot of different schedules that I'm gonna put what to do each day. I just went over that, what to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That should take you less than an hour doing that. Work out, drink your Shakeology, and get in that social media training that we're gonna be running next week. Is pretty much everything in a nutshell. And believe in yourself. I know it's hard. I know it's really, really hard when everyone around you is tearing you down. Christine goes through that a lot at her work, working in the restaurant industry, being around these girls, and and she has one of the kindest, most caring hearts of anyone out there that I've ever met. So as she grows and as she changes, the people that are in that environment, you're gonna grow, Christine. You're gonna change. You're gonna evolve as you move forward, and as you build up that confidence, and as you believe in yourself more. Look at these other opportunities that are opening up for you, possibly even working at that spa. So it's not just always about who sells the most challenge packs or who is on the recognition board. It's also about, as we grow and as we change and as we're helping people and as we are being healthy and fit in our own fitness journey, that's what it's all about too. So make sure that you are staying true to yourself, your heart, as you're showing up each day, and keep it fun. Because once it's not fun anymore, it's not fun. There's like no middle. It's just not fun. And we all go in those phases. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to post this PowerPoint. Yes, there's some spelling mistakes in it. I am, I don't mean this in a cocky way, but I am running a huge organization with this, a family, kids. I'm doing the best I can with proofreading, but sometimes we just get what we get. And then if you don't know what I mean, just ask me. Because I'm going to post that in the coach group, and then I'm going to post that win the week. And what else? Any other questions do we have? Nope.
That was awesome, Marie. Thank you. That was really good.
Thanks, guys. I know I jump around sometimes because I have a lot of information to throw at you guys, but the purpose was believe in yourself and be proud of yourself and hold your head up high, because you are all amazing. Let's see what Valerie said real quick. I just had someone tell me the other day they were interested in. Oh yeah, seriously. Yeah. And a lot of times when we get those haters, guys, and you can read that, like, people, I mean, there's so many people out there that are gonna judge you, and I know there's so many people out there that hate my post, but they come by every day and see what I'm doing to hate me even more. I don't lose friends on my friend list. I know they hate me, or hate's a strong word. I know that, but they still come by every day, and eventually I break them down. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Good to see you on here, Suzanne. Hey, all right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Thanks.